Hargreaves, a chance for Torquay. Chris Hargreaves, the captain. If he stays offside, Carlisle checks instead. He's looking for Benny. Sills.
Hello and welcome to this latest Gull's Eye View. They did it. Well done, everyone. Well done everyone, the coaching staff and the players. Obviously, as everyone knows, it's not the biggest achievement before the season started of staying up on the Vanarama stuff. We all know that, but we're going to enjoy it. The players were very professional and they have done the job. I am joined by Dom.
Good evening, lads.
I'm joined by Chris.
They must have listened to your rant from the other night, Swanee. There's no way they'd have performed like that otherwise.
He wants to take the plaudits, doesn't he? He wants to take the plaudits.
There was a difference, wasn't there? They were actually fired up and ready. I'm joined by Tom.
Good evening, lads. Yes, get in there.
What a day. We were all there. It was
How's the voice, day. Tom?
Bit hoarse, but who cares?
I'm so tired. I played roadworks on the way back. But yeah, what a victory! What a victory! So where do we start? Well, we're safe unless we fielded another ineligible player. And that also was all in the back of our minds last night. But yeah, I know Taunton missed that chance. They should have they didn't make it 2-2. But I can just say, I reckon that's one of the only professional performances we've put in all season, which a bit of it frustrates you, doesn't it? It just shows what we could have done this season.
Yeah.
Is this team good enough? Then it's not as good as the Oval, of course not. But you know, you don't have to be the best team in the world. You just have to move the ball well and then kill teams off and be clinical in the right periods of the game. We did, and I thought even when Taunton scored, we were really professional as well. And gamesmanship and game management, Brian Ashwin, all those fouls and stuff like that. But we'll go back to the start. So who wants to take this one? But reminds we're all there. Who wants to take this one? We'll start with Tom as your voice is fading, just in case it goes.
Yeah, quick.
So we'll talk about the Taunton Stadium. Actually, we'll do a whole of the match day. We'll just do one episode this week, so we did one at the start of the week. But
I seem to be one of the few people that actually had their tickets scanned on entry. Granted, I was one of the first at the ground.
Some people look trustworthy. Some people don't.
Well,
life goes, Tom, isn't it?
I was able to get first dibs where to put the pride flag, so that was good. No, I mean, look, the stadium is what it is for them. You can tell that they've had quite a rise up the pyramid. It's basic. It's basic, but you know, it's fine for them. I mean, I feel like they could have given us a few more tickets. I felt like they could have spread us out a bit further across, but as someone mentioned in the group chat, you know, they didn't seem to scan tickets as people were arriving, which could have caused some issues, especially
I don't want to get anyone in trouble. Like, I was like thinking whether we put that or not, but there was that issue. I think the staff were friendly, the food was absolutely brilliant. But yeah, a few things about that. Like, obviously, I actually hope now we're safe Taunton stay up because I love the away day. I like their rise. I think it's pretty good, and I hope they sort their financial troubles out as well.
Of course.
But yeah, the tickets was a bit of a weird situation, I think, because there's so many tickets brought from different places that maybe just not quite ready.
Well, I mean, they were valid, October? We were meant to play them originally, so there was a bit of confusion as to whether they were going to be available. There was even talk if, you know, the weather wasn't great, whether the game would be even held at Taunton. There was talk it could be Hungerford if worse came to worse. But it was a glorious evening. It was a glorious evening in Somerset. And again, friendly staff. And ultimately, we've got what we wanted, a very important 2-1 win.
Need more toilets as well. I know they put them in for us, which is very nice, but sure you could just spread things out a little bit.
Limited my drinking time, that did, because I didn't want to go all out early on. But no, look, at the end of the day, that's without wanting to sound, you know, big-headed, but that's the level we're at.
Yeah, it is,
you know, again, I hope Taunton do stay up because they're a, you know, great little club. Obviously, I had a hard time of it this season. It's the second year in a row, isn't it? They've had multiple issues with that pitch. And I didn't realise how crucial that win actually made their survival prospects a lot more challenging because now they're, 4 points from safety. But no, you know what? The Yellow Army turned up in absolute numbers. They made such a great noise, and they were the definition of the 12th man last night to get us over the line, especially in that 12 minutes of injury time, which God knows where the officials got that from.
It 6, 7, 8 at the most.
But we saw it out brilliantly. And to be fair, the chances we had in the first half alone, we should have been out of sight. And yes, Taunton had a couple of chances that they should have buried. But other than that, I was really struggling to think when Halstead was really tested. And just all the lads, for all the shambles that was Bath on Saturday, they all stepped up and they all performed 8 out of 10 performances. McGavin, that's probably the best first half of football I've ever seen him play.
Yeah,
he was everywhere. He scored a cracking goal.
was
Asa
right.
Hall again just proves his worth in the team, and getting ultimately the winning goal. And I think Dave Thomas said it perfectly in his report. It's the most important result since 1987, when we looked like we were falling out the Football League.
It literally is. Yeah,
There's so many connotations going forward. If we had lost that and then not been able to stay up on Saturday, ownership
Would
side,
owners pull out?
would they invest? Would they pull out? So there was a lot riding on last night, and I'm just delighted for everyone, but mostly the fans who have stuck to the team so loyally throughout the season. And it's one of those. It was a nice feeling at full time being able to celebrate safety, but in the same respect, I hope it's something I will never have to
celebrate again.
Cheer again or celebrate again. But for those who are like, oh, Torquay's, they're celebrating staying up, how Tim Pot. Well, actually, there was a lot riding on last night and the existence of this football club, especially. So well done to everyone who was wearing the shirt, everyone associated with the club, and mostly the fans who were absolutely brilliant. And it's great to see so many Gulls summer hats as well. Like, look good on you people.
Yeah, no, I think Chris, don't want to add anything to that?
I think we talked before the game, Chris, didn't we, about the first goal?
Yeah,
crucial.
Massive.
So often has been away games this season. If we concede first, I don't think we won a game, or maybe one.
Yeah.
Yeah, the start was a bit patchy, wasn't it? It was hugely scrappy first 5-10 minutes. It was like a couple of boxers testing each other out a bit, very few punches thrown. Then suddenly we got a little bit of passing together, didn't we? And then, it's a lovely pass back from Lapsley to see McGavin, and you could see him adjusting his body.
It was perfectly weighed up by Lapsley as well. I know it seems a really easy pass.
Just perfectly on his right foot where he wanted it, wasn't it?
What have I been saying all season, though, all of us? Like, just get McGavin in those advanced roles, where he's coming in like that. And he has the quality to do that. Make the most
in that
of
position. Yeah, absolutely.
It's holding possession up front and making the right passes, isn't it? Because if you don't hold possession up front, he won't have time to get up and support. No. That's the trouble. So you've got to keep the possession well. We haven't done that.
And we haven't done that all season. We've gone like, right, it's hot potato. I don't want it. Or let's get it in the box and hope for the best.
And it's just come back.
Keep it side to side, and eventually something will end up. Always a bit of space. McGavin's coming in here, bang. And that's all it needs all season.
And that changed the game a bit like Truro. Then we got another, didn't we? Because you get one and confidence was up. And it was a lovely finish by Asa Hall.
Can I just say on the McGavin goal, Dom?
We mentioned Hall from the corner, didn't we? We were saying, who's going to get onto this? Who's going to be able to get onto the header or whatever?
Finish.
Yeah.
But it was a brilliant volley. Yeah, it was down the other end from us, but he really caught it crisply.
They're both quality goals, aren't they? Like
went over Labakin before he could sniff, so they were two cracking goals, weren't they?
And the McGavin one's brilliant
because from Yellow Army on the goals. Yeah.
I was directly in line with the McGavin one, and it swings in, and it's an absolute quality finish from him.
What he's all about at strike, isn't it? He doesn't have enough variety to his repertoire, but boy, can he hit a ball, and when he catches it correctly, it flies.
Chris, that's his first goal since when?
So January the 20th.
In a while.
Yeah, to be honest, I think there was one big difference. The word I used to describe the Bath game was that we just lacked intensity in everything we did and how we engaged with defending and how we chased in midfield. And it was just the exact opposite. We just had intensity in everything we did.
Lapsley and Ash did a lot of work.
Absolutely, Lapsley and Ash.
And all of them were great, but those who stood out the most.
Absolutely. Bearing in mind there were 106 minutes in that game with the injury time.
Yeah.
And Ash was still chasing 20-25 yards to close people down, within those 12 minutes of injury time. And we just had intensity. We closed spaces down. I think it's important to note there was a lot more space.
It was also noble to have Archer in a sort of floating role, wasn't it? He wasn't worried about defence. He was actually closer to the striker, and that made a difference for him. So he was
that tweak in the formation to go back to 3 at the back made a difference because it left Archer in that kind of free role in behind, didn't it? He's got. I like Archer. There's a lot they need to work on. He needs to work on his end product, but there's a lot to like about him. Lively, quick, moves well with the ball.
He gets stuck in.
Yeah, and again, I mean, the McGavin goal, very rarely in football, because things happen so quickly, from where we were as well, every now and again you think, hang on, that might be in. But the second you hit that,
it's in.
There's never any doubt.
Yeah, no,
I remember listening I was going to say, listen to Ace talking about the away form as well. Listen to Ace's interview on the website earlier on. I mean, I have not checked, so this could be an unchecked stat, but he said up before the Trigger, we'd lost 10 away games in a row. I've not checked that to be correct, but
something like that, right, I think, wasn't it? Yeah.
It was nice that we weren't just, we was a team. It wasn't like we were reliant on Jude Boyd to give us all our energy and like going forward and that.
Yeah.
It was just, he was just there doing his role in the team. He was, you know what I mean? You weren't looking at one player to stand out. You're just looking at a team, and obviously it's a very.
They were all holding their positions as well. They weren't all trying to overdo it. They just
that
11 together.
That 11 plus, yeah, I agree. 11 plus Booth that came on there, so tight on there, and like Jarvis coming at the end was nice to see.
Booth was really important when he came on as well. He won a couple of thumping tackles.
That's
kind of running around chasing people, and
that tackle
he was really good.
Changed. So obviously going to that point. So there was a few crucial moments in that game. Was when they scored, we were like, oh, what a stupid time to concede. We managed the game.
Yeah, and my dad had just said at half time, keep it tight for 10 minutes. And
like
85 seconds. They're like,
next one was going to be vital in that game. If we got it, it was probably game over. Otherwise, they were going to invite pressure, and that's why we kind of reverted back to default, didn't we, for about 15, 20 minutes in that second half?
They were putting a few long balls over, weren't they? They had that one disallowed. I thought,
but we still had the better of it. I felt it was weird. It was
we dealt with it pretty well.
Whilst we weren't keeping possession well, we still had a lot of the ball in that moment. But no, I expected Taunton to offer a bit more than they did, especially like you think they've got 3 games this week. And this is the game where if they win, go above us, and they could be home and hose. But I don't know. I just expected a bit more from them.
Football goes up and down.
They were trying, weren't they? They were scrapping.
Football had their ups and downs. I said at half time, wasn't it? To you, I said like we had a huge down on Saturday. They had a huge high, and then it will change again in a few days. A lot of the time in these sort of scraps. But
I think as well, what surprised me a little bit. But I get it, because I mean the pitch was like a beach. I mean, every time someone kicked the ball, there was a big puff of sand, and I get it because they've had to do what they can to get these games on. And the best neutralizer for water is sand, isn't it? But if you think about, I was saying to coming back in the car, think how much football they played at Plainmoor. They passed us off the park.
They played a lot of long balls.
That's what I found confusing.
It was just long balls and throwing. That was it. There was no football. There was no. I mean, House didn't make a save, but I don't think he did at Bath either. But it was all just long balls.
And they didn't really have a target man to aim for, did they? It was Stern up front, just quite a little guy. There wasn't much up there. So, and I'm not
a huge believer in fate, but it really did feel like one of those nights where on some days from those long throws, one day it just drops to someone who slaps it in, and other days it doesn't. And maybe last night was our night. Who knows? But it doesn't like take a lot. There's no skill involved in that.
Especially after they missed those 2.
Someone gets a head on it. Yeah.
After they missed those 2 chances, I did think in the back of my head, we've got this. It feels like it's our night. But of course, being Torquay United, we all know it's not.
Never believe that.
The crucial bit for me was obviously, so it was quite rubbish for Collins, obviously, when he came on, and he's had a whacking head within 10 seconds, and he looked so groggy. I know he's been ill as well. Apparently Dave Thomas said that he had been in Wales for a week.
I was thinking as well, we've all had, if he's had a head cold or a bug or whatever he's had, and it takes you a while to get back on your feet, and he's managed to get back on the bench, and within 10 seconds gets smacked in the back of the head. You think, that's the last thing.
Thumbs up his season, I thought.
Yeah, I felt really bad for him.
Really
poor sod. Yeah,
but then Booth came on, and there was about a minute of chaos because a few of us, and I was saying, well, what are we going to do? And
they were trying to adjust,
went, didn't it?
And
3 minutes.
A few thought, we'll put Jude Boyd on the wing and then put Booth into right back. Jude Boyd replacing Collins, Booth replacing where Jude Boyd was. But they put Booth into central midfield, and for like a minute or two, it was chaos. I think that's when they almost scored, and it was sometimes it's been a bit stupid, and everyone was running into each other. But all of a sudden, it clicks. Booth got his sort of way into it, and there was I think someone took it past him, and he actually that tackle so good it got the whole Torquay fans, and maybe the Taunton fans who were like, we're going to get on this guy's back in like they did at Plainmoor.
Yeah,
maybe that key tackle.
It's a sort of tackle as a football fan you love, Swanee, isn't it? It's a real come on sort of tackle. It's a real sort of moment to the fan you love.
Those, and
we managed it well after that, though, didn't we? We got the territorial.
Moxie was so good as well.
We didn't get it down the corners like that and manage the game that well very often. But
Moxie won everything, honestly. He was so good last night. And
the 3 centre-backs, they won all their headers, didn't they? They didn't lose anything.
Tomlinson
Jarvis was swinging his arms around all over the gaff. But
Tomlinson had his best game he's had for a long time.
Since the start of the season. We were all saying in the car, like, where's it all gone wrong for Tomlinson? We didn't understand. At the start of the season, we were all going, he's going to be our young player of the season by a mile. and then he just lost all his confidence and form, like a lot of them have. And last night it was like he's got the confidence around him, and he did what he did. He did what he needed to do.
Looked comfortable last night. That's the first time for a while. He'll feel a lot better about everything at this point, won't he? So
but they all got it, didn't they? They all got it. They all understood how big of a game this was, and they all stepped up, which is very good.
And that's what we asked for.
We all had concerns after Bath that we weren't going to step up, and it looked like we were just going to
accept the situation
and accept our fate. But they all, all of them just stood up and made themselves counted.
But it's like I said earlier in the week. This is my personal view. I don't buy this. They don't care and they're not trying. I don't buy it. It's their job. Of course they care. I just don't believe that people aren't trying. They're not giving it their best. I just don't get it. But you can see at the end what it meant to them. And Downs alluded to it in his interview. I said it earlier in the week. It cannot be a good environment. If we all put ourselves in that situation of administrators and potentially not getting paid and not having a job, and we'd all be feeling the same. So actually, I agree. I think they have conducted themselves with integrity, and they've been honest, and they've kept going. And but like you said, at times we've not been good enough, and that's not anything to do with what's been going on off the pitch. That's been to do with recruitment failings and way before what happened eight weeks or so ago. But it was, you could see at the end how together they were, and that actually a lot of them, their first instinct wasn't to go and shake hands with the opposition, which generally I'm not a huge fan of, but actually they just wanted that moment, didn't they? They wanted to, they just wanted to scream and let it all out, didn't they?
Yeah, and you can see even the really experienced pros like Moxie and
and Ace loving it.
Think of the highest end, especially like Moxie, out of all of them have gone through in his career. To see that real passion and that, especially being an Exeter lad as well, it just shows, doesn't it? It just shows what it means.
Even someone like McGavin's not, he's not much of a talker, but boy was he pleased at the end. Nothing, wasn't he?
Yeah, and like Booth, one of our own and all that. It was really nice, and it was like a mix of relief, wasn't it? I mean, especially when we were shut in for 20-30 minutes. Imagine if we had lost. Bloody hell. I went and brought another pass and everything in that time, so it was good. But no, it was a lovely day, and Taunton,
I really like them as a club. They're just a fragile bunch of players, aren't they? They can have ups and downs.
There was too many of the same type of player and person in that squad, and that was the problem. When one goes down, all goes down. It's
not a tough enough mentality amongst them as it come down to it. But they
didn't have direction though, probably, did they, for most of the season? Look at Johnson.
It's been unsettled all season. The whole team's been unsettled. It's not been a nice environment to be in. There's a variety of factors. So
going forward now, it's all about, right, this has to be the end of all of the rubbish, and not necessarily all of it, but all the sort of decline and whatever. This is the start now of, I'm not saying, right, back-to-back promotions, here we go, if we were new owner. I'm saying this is the start when we go, right, no more decline.
What?
Let's start. It could happen. Let's just start the rebuild of the club, and I prefer to get it right over 5-10 years and have a couple manicure. You know what I meant?
Manicure?
No. mediocre few years.
We don't do mediocrity. Don't be stupid.
But I know, yeah. But it's come on. It's near the end of it's near the end of the season now, isn't it? We've only got a couple left. But yeah, it's.
Well, look at Stockport. They got promoted, didn't they? And they were down in these divisions for a while. But
they went part-time for a bit as well, didn't they?
They built themselves back up again, didn't they? And they're bearing the fruits now. They've got good players and they're back up to League One, aren't they now?
Yeah, good on them.
It's amazing.
That's the dream for us.
Spent a lot.
And but it's amazing, Dom, how quickly these things turn around. So I remember going to watch Jamie Reid scoring a hat-trick there. What was that? 6-7 years ago, they were absolute shambles. There was booing everywhere. There was, weren't many fans there. And what are we now, 6-7 years down the line, and look where they are. But yeah, I think we need, as like Asa said after the game, Saturday, they all deserve Saturday. Let's enjoy Saturday. Hopefully get a win.
Absolutely.
See it out, and then it's
going
to be a huge summer. Massive.
I mean, we've got to get sorted. If we don't get sorted by June, we'll be booted out the National South. So
that's the thing, isn't it? That's the thing, Sam, isn't it? We've got to, we've avoided relegation. Thank Christ for that. But now it's making sure that we do get new owners in by the league's AGM, whenever that is in June, I think it is.
Or June, isn't it, normally?
The battle's still, the battle's just begun.
But
really,
with the statement that they said the other week, you'd think that it's moving in the right direction, wouldn't you? So we've got to hope it's with the club's presentations.
I just keep saying, if you're a new owner, you just look at the fan base and you see the numbers that turn out week in, week out, both home and away. It's incredible. And fair play to the Yellow Army throughout this whole season, especially those who have gone away from home for a lot of the games. You couldn't begrudge anyone for not, for giving up at some points of the season, because the football, especially away from home, has been absolute garbage. So full credit to the Yellow Army.
I think you look at these ex-league clubs and you look at Southend, your Stockports and that. They have generations of people, don't they?
Yeah.
Who are passionate about the club, and that means so much.
Look at Forest Green. I don't want
these clubs going, doesn't it?
Look at Forest Green, who've come back down. They've got all the money in the world at this level, and that they've finally got out of the Football League, the National League and all that, and then they're straight back into it in a few years after relegation.
Yeah.
And it just shows, it's not about money, and that you've got to have your club, core fans, as well as all the things in place and proper. You can't do PR stunts, and that you've got to just get on and manage your football club well. And that just sums up, really. We're a proper club, and
the backbone of the club aren't fans, and if you haven't got that, it's hard.
Look at League Two and the EFL next season. A lot of these teams who have come up and we've been, oh Christ, they used to be smaller than us. They're coming back down. I have nothing against Sutton, because, well, apart from the fact that it's the title, but they've lived their dream in that. But they've come back down now, and they haven't really been better off, because they had to get rid of their 4G pitch, which made them money, and now they're back in the Football League anyway, National League anyway. So, you look at those teams, but on the other hand, the National League, it doesn't have like big money buckets like Chesterfield, I'm not saying them, so, the big spending like Chesterfield, Notts County, and all that talent that when we were trying to get out of it, there was a really good team, Stockport. There's just a lot of consistent, well-run clubs. I mean, Woking have taken their eye off the ball, and Boreham Wood 1 year. And they might go down. It'll be an
interesting National League South next season.
Yeah, if we're there, it'll be a lot with my mate.
I think you can it's safe to say that we will probably be the biggest club in the National League South next season.
Yeah.
Obviously, the success is never guaranteed in this sport, and obviously we don't know what the summer's going to bring for us, but it's going to be a very important summer period for us. A lot of change off and on the pitch is going to happen, and fingers crossed.
Trying to get
August,
the structure right, isn't it? And getting key
we'll be in a better place.
Building a squad. I don't think we should have too much expectation.
I must say,
suddenly getting 95 points, 100 points next season. I think we should hopefully try and just build the project and go from there.
Yeah. I must say, I've been humbled by this season. This has really humbled me. Of course, we all were hoping that we were going to walk it and challenge with Yeovil. It's not transpired. It's turned out to be the absolute season from hell. But at the end of the day, the remit was, from the moment that GI and Osborne pulled all the money out, was just to survive and just not be relegated into the Southern Premier. Because if we were relegated to the Southern League, that probably would have been game over in my eyes for the club. So it's just, that's what Aaron Downs was brought to do as well. He was coming just to get this club. He's achieved his remit. Whether I want him there next season or not, but it doesn't matter at the minute. No. That's something the summer can dictate. But he deserves, the lads all deserve praise on Saturday. And if you are going, again, it's not to be celebrated the fact that we're surviving in the National League South, but I think it's nice to enjoy a moment of, things could be a lot worse. And once again, we've pulled out an escape, and it goes down as another moment of history at Torquay United Football Club. We like creating history.
It was a huge night. We were all there for a huge night, and we witnessed that. And it was nice because so many people I knew I was with, and I've really, especially from my personal point of view this season, it's the first time I've really felt I've connected with the whole community, and obviously doing all this, and it's been generally lovely. And so many people now, brilliant people, I've got to know, and that's been one of the things that's kept me going with it all. Really, even when I stepped away for the last couple of games, before I was pulled out because it's just too horrible to see. Just and if it's anything like that again, people will do the same, and I'll do the same. Buckland's about to get very popular if they do anything, to do anything like it with the whole ruining all the community. But
there's a story from last night that just encapsulates a very personal story. I get that, but encapsulates kind of how football clubs get you. My oldest son was desperate for a ticket, and I couldn't get him a ticket because obviously they were allegedly saying that ours were sold out, and obviously so I went with my dad, and he pestered his mother and was upset, and I want to watch. It's not fair. I want to watch. And then about 7:30, mother relented, and She's messaging me saying, "How do I buy the stream? What's the log on?" And then they
Yeah,
sat
I
and
love
watched it
that.
together, and he was overjoyed.
And
Massive
that's
smile on
it's
his face this
family,
morning,
isn't
and
it? You know, my
it's
dad
bitten
can
him
be,
already.
yeah, exactly. Like my dad can be there, but you know, all the joy in like the family WhatsApps from all
Yeah.
like Torquay
Yeah.
Thornton family who live elsewhere, and all messages
Yeah.
coming in from loads of people, not just Torquay fans. And it's just like even like people that are close to me and they don't really enjoy football, like they all know the impact it has on fans, and that's football.
Yeah.
And they've asking, how are they doing? Oh, great that you say that. How you get, you know, and I think that's really nice to see. And that's what football is, and you can't take that away.
It's not
Can't
for the
take that away
glory,
from
is
us.
it?
No.
People look at it and go, "Oh, well done for making the effort." You know,
Yeah.
how can you bear it? But we bear
Yeah.
it because, you know, not to be too soppy, but we've got each other to, you know,
Yeah,
see
we do.
games.
But
And
it felt like that last night, didn't it? Those 12 minutes of added time. We're all like bringing each other.
Absolutely.
my ear was
So,
aching from listening to Chris berate the linesman for that.
It was
Well, you should have paid more attention.
It was shout out to Clive. It was when it was 12 minutes to go, and it's like, oh, I'll be single figures soon.
Everyone was moaning. Clive brought a moment of calm. He's like, I've been singing for a minute. It's fingers me, lads. Don't worry about it.
I thought we were going to be all right, actually. I think that chance on 86 with it, I thought that was it. I thought, if they were going to score, it would have been then, because that looked.
And we actually handled it pretty well in injury time, didn't we? We managed to protect the ball quite well.
Simon Lapsley almost ran past 4 players.
Ran off the goal line.
Lapsley was like pure Lapsley last night. But you know what's going to happen, don't you? They're going to turn up, might win like 5 or 6-0. I'm no disrespect to happen. I'm not saying that's going to happen. And then
they'll all get kept.
These lads, they can have another go next season. And then
HMS Pistol League is set sail next season.
Yeah, go on. Ace has got his legs back. You know, he's going to be there for another year. Moxie, definitely. He's going to be player of the year. Yeah, Ashley's done well. We'll give him, get a bit of stuff around him. It's going to be fine.
Things turn very quickly in the football world.
But I still believe these
Saturday.
I
didn't go on Saturday, but you lot were absolutely moaning.
I don't want any of these again.
Yeah, get rid of everyone and all that lot. But a few days later,
I still would have seriously. I still would have a complete restart.
I know, but you do feel a bit better about them.
Yeah.
It's getting over that joy of what's happened. But when you look back at the season, you just think to yourself, it's just been too many disappointing moments.
Very much so.
Yeah.
Who's player of the season then?
Wow. A lot of us are going a double Jude Boyd, won't we? But I'm just going to have to go Moxie. I'm going to go Moxie and then Jude Boyd Young.
It can't be Jude Boyd. It can't be a player that's played 10 games. You can't be that. That's not right.
He's got 5 goals. He's
don't get me wrong. He's been brilliant. Absolutely fantastic.
Player,
I'd have him on a year loan like that. But it's got to be Moxie.
The thing is, it's got to be Moxie. It's a bit of a sentimental. He's like consistently been like 6 or 7 out of 10, and that's
he's been the best player all season.
The funny thing was, after the first 10 games, everybody was giving it a Holstead.
Yeah, he was absolutely superb.
And Moxie's been fit all season, which wasn't the case last season, was it? He's been fit all season.
If you didn't watch any, I'm going to get shot down so badly, but listen to what I'm saying closely. If you didn't watch any Torquay games this season and you just followed it out on a spreadsheet, you say, well, Ash has scored quite a lot of goals, and then you say McGavin scored a lot of goals, and he's a central midfielder. Yeah. So that's the weird thing, really. We don't give Ash and McGavin a chance, but they've actually scored a lot of goals.
There's a lot of context behind this.
Yeah, there is. But I think because it's been so frustrating, especially with McGavin at times when you felt, he's got so much of this, we just needs more of that. And then when they're poor, their head really goes and they really are nowhere near it. And Ash just had games where he literally just missed that Western away. We missed about 3. He snatched at 3 sitters or whatever, 2 or 3 sitters.
He should have scored twice last night and he missed them. Close range.
But then he worked so hard and he has scored 13 all non-penalty goals. Is it 13?
Yeah. He's one of what,
and that's in a team that's created naffle. That's not bad at all.
I don't know if we'll do a video afterwards. I don't know if we'll do a video afterwards after having saying who we want to keep or who we want to go.
We'll do it, but we'll base it once the ownership's done. Because if it's we've got a full-time budget.
I'll put it on record now. I would like Ash to stay for next season. I do think that's a useful player.
I was like Ash. I'll say it on record now. Ash, Archer, the first 2 players I'll go to keep. There's a few 50-50s depending on wage, depending on what is out there, what we can do.
I'd have McGavin on that list as well, Swanee. Anyone that can score goals like that,
you can't.
He's got to improve parts of his game.
We're a National League South team.
But
Yeah, but you're a national. If it depends what's the wage. It's a National League South team. You've got to be realistic at the same time. So you probably can't look past McGavin on that stage. Also, I think the only player we have under contract is Booth. So Booth will be there. He's a good option around. I think again, if with the right manager, I feel all of them could be so much better.
It's really hard looking at them. I mean, Paul and Moxie will get a lot of plaudits, but
That's the problem.
Do we want to see him another season?
I really don't want to lose Paul and
not
Moxie because
really.
I love the pair of them as
Because
footballers.
they're just about ready to retire. So.
I did wonder with Asa and Mox and their celebrations last night whether they knew in themselves this was the last hurrah for them in terms of playing.
I would love it if we went.
I don't want to see Asa limping along for another season, do we?
I just want to be like, he's done amazingly at this football club. And Moxie, but Asel's done amazing at his football club last of his career. And Asel's been a very popular player at every club he's played for. I suppose Oxford fans, but everyone, because he's such a good player. It's just injuries got in his way a lot of his career, sadly.
Yeah, I wouldn't keep him as a central midfield player, but I'd keep him as a centre back.
Possibly that.
Last night he was brilliant. Headed everything, got on everything.
But I just think
everything clear.
I just think
we
have to be brutal and cut
I think we have to freshen up completely, Chris. If he stays
Start again.
and
but you've got to have some experience. You can't
he's
just sign him
as
as
captain the last 2 years.
I do agree.
There's a sentimental thing with Asa, but it's not been good enough, and he misses half the game. So he's got to go for me. Same with Moxie. He's 38 now. Can't be keeping him.
We'll get a good debate out of this for the next week's video.
Dom's feeling bloody. Listen to this.
These players will be amongst our top earners, won't they?
I do also agree with
any
that.
Club should be the better players.
I do also agree with that. You want players who are more likely going to be guaranteed to be getting you all the goals and playing most of the
players
matches.
in our peak years being
a lot of my guess, and this will sound bad, but my guess is a lot of the first team players are on very good. I'm basing this, of course, of just general guessing and Football Manager kind of ways, but a lot of the better players will be on good wages. And if we get exactly the same budget next season, I prefer it to go right. You could probably get a player, even a player and a half, if almost, not literally.
Yeah.
Or like I would guess some of the first team wages this season. I prefer it to get into a younger player, get players who are strong though, not necessarily just like, not all youngsters are naive. This is the thing. Look at Jude Boyd. You're either a good footballer or you're not. And we just need good footballers next season.
We need players who can play Saturday and Tuesday as well.
Yeah.
We can't be having these people
I want a whole new start.
Who play Saturday, then get injured on Tuesday, then miss Saturday. We've got to have people who
leave a lot of these lads to go out on a high as well.
But then I think what comes under that as well is whether we are a full-time football club next season. There's going to be a lot of questions that are going to need to be answered over the summer. One of which will be: are we going to go full? Are we staying full-time? Are we going hybrid? Are we going proper part-time? And that will dictate, I guess, the budget and the type of players we can attract next season. I'd like to think that the club will be ambitious and will think that they can target maybe not winning the league next season, but certainly being in the top half, pushing for playoffs. And I think we're only, a couple of players away from that. As bad as these lot have been this season, I do think if you can riddle out the inconsistencies in some of our play, there's a team there. I mean, if you take away our 11 points, where will we be? About 13th, 14th?
Funny, I looked at that last night. 13th would be, 61
13th,
points, 11 points behind the playoffs.
Which, considering how piss poor we've been for the majority of the season, that's still, that's foundations there. So, an interesting summer ahead.
Getting a good spine, isn't it? Your goalkeeper, centre back, your midfield and striker, and you can build from that, can't you?
And I think you can get away with a bit more. I think at this level as well, you can get away with having a few more youth players in your side. So, and I'd like to see a bit more youth coming through this side. So,
my biggest thing next season, commanding goalkeeper who's literally going to clear out anyone who gets in his way when a cross comes in. Because that last season, McDonald progressed so much as a goalkeeper from the first season to last. The McDonald, which went really, of the last season, he prevented so many chances and took the heat out of the game so many times. Just coming and get crosses and collecting crosses. I want a commanding goalkeeper, big, tall, strong centre back. This is just obvious football stuff, really, isn't it? And then
would you take McDonald back if he came available on the market?
100%. 100%.
Would he come back? It was a big thing, him leaving.
And he's local.
He's not playing though, is he?
Exeter losing their lone keeper, but them staying up, flicking down to League Two. I think he left the League Two standard goalkeeper, in my opinion. But then been in
He
League
hasn't.
One.
He's not really been a number one though, has he? Since he's
Not at all.
left.
He hasn't played.
Not played since he's
He
left,
hasn't
has
played
he?
a league game in either
The
his.
life of a goalkeeper, isn't it?
He hasn't. He's
Yeah.
done a Michael
He's not
Pope when he went
playing.
Portsmouth, basically. But I would take. Oh my god, I would take McDonald back in a
Come on,
heartbeat.
Exeter, make it happen.
Sounds like a
um,
lively one next week then, whilst we're debating this, doesn't it?
Yeah, we'll get the
I'm
ownership
surprised you
sometime.
said that you're keeping Asa, Chris, because I thought you'd be
We
pushing
won,
to
Dom.
let
I'm
the
not-
injury-prone players go now.
Cheer up, Dom.
You softened up
I'm
a
not.
bit.
No,
No,
I do.
I'm not- I'm not-
I agree
I
with
wouldn't-
Dom's mindset. I do agree with Dom's mindset.
Yeah.
I
I do
wouldn't
agree.
keep him as a central midfield player because he clearly can't do that anymore. But he has been so good in his last 6 or 8
But I
games
on
that
this going
maybe
back
that's
to
the role for him
we
now.
conceded,
going back to
conceded
Tom's
goals,
point,
though,
if
haven't
we suddenly go part time or reduce budget, and someone like Aesall goes, yeah, I'll take a let's just say a wage cut and fit around this model.
just because you can get
Might be the
them,
best.
you can keep,
This
have
is
to
a good
keep
point.
signing them back
And
on.
also-
we did
also-
this last summer, didn't
And
we?
it's a very good point. Also,
Oh,
you need
they'll come
assets.
back. Oh, sign them on again. You know.
You can do with one or two of them, but we need
Mm.
assets that are going to get better
Yeah.
and either help us get better or we sell them.
Yeah, I
Which
just think
helps
they've
get
both
better.
been an important part of the rebuild. To have nobody, to have nothing, no experience, no DNA, no nothing
I do agree.
for a complete rebuild is asking a lot.
But if you get a new manager in and he brings a few players in who bring that DNA,
Mm,
then we'll see.
that could
But,
help.
Mm.
We'll see. Won't we?
Interesting.
yeah,
Yep.
very interesting.
That's
So-
gonna
But
be
we'll
win on
lively
Saturday.
next week,
Very,
isn't it?
very enjoyable and interesting debate. And I imagine it's going to
It
debate a
is.
lot of people around a lot of people. But as Tom says, it all depends on where the club is
On
at.
the
If
model.
the club gets saved properly, the
Mm.
model, and then we can have our say.
They're gonna get a few more episodes out of us yet.
Nothing
Yeah,
against
no.
Asa and that, by the way. I just need to.
Oh,
move
they're
on
legends.
to these
Yeah, no,
people.
I totally agree with you, Dom. I am still in your line of thinking. As much as I don't really want to admit that, it's I'm with that. But you know, it's very interesting. It almost feels like I forgot we're at the end of a season. Like usually, the last couple of seasons, like well, you know, I said a bit of a break to talk about Torquay, but it's been so like intense. I'm like, oh, it is actually end of another season.
Mm.
We've done. Well, I've worked the other day.
And I've never been happier.
No, never been
It
happier.
felt like it was going to be mid-table, didn't it? Nothing was going to
Yeah.
happen the last couple of months. Then everything happened.
But yeah, obviously it's been a big part of our lives, especially the club, and we appreciate all the messages. Of course, we probably don't say that enough, but we really, really do. I think it's just sometimes it's like really nice, and sometimes it's like, wow, this is actually just really, 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 really cool. This is our 161st Gulls Eye View. We worked out the other day, slow day at work. It's a few meetings. I was like, what's that? Maybe 161. So it's been fantastic, and obviously we've got the format, and we'll come back next season. Even though it's been a few times, I've got, I don't want to talk about Torquay
Are
anymore.
we being renewed for season 4?
Yeah, I've been renewed for season 4. And
I haven't entered into contract negotiations yet, so I have to
yeah,
see
well,
yet. But
there's a couple of people that might be guesting a bit, you know, because it'd be nice to keep 4 of us all the time. But obviously,
I've heard I'm being replaced. I've heard I'm the least popular.
Yeah,
of
he's
four, so that-
headhunting
yeah.
replacements for us, Chris.
but no, this would be nice. It'd be nice because obviously what life gets in our way, and we can't always have 4 people, and it just looks nice on the screen, doesn't it? There's more people to interrupt each other then. So
depends who they are.
yeah,
Yeah.
true. But no,
Sorry, we
it's-
won't see you
How-
next season,
No
Sheridan.
matter
Sorry.
how bad it gets, we've always got something to talk about. haven't we?
Yeah,
Oh,
no, it's true.
always.
Like how
And we're
many
gonna
we're
win
going
on
to smash
Saturday,
Haven
3-0.
by?
3-0. 3-0.
Oh,
3-1.
3-0.
Clean sheet. I'm
3-1.
having it. Let's have it.
3-1.
I'll say 3-1 as well.
Oh, you know what? I mean, Dom's already won the prediction league, so let's go 5-1 Gulls.
Oh.
Let's end it on a high.
And next season we will actually do a proper prediction league, but I, for some reason, being IT background, I didn't think, oh, let's just use an app that does it for us. So I was sat there like inputting every Twitter users and whatever's result. And after 10 games, I'll come across. So we will actually do a proper one next year. We'll use it. I'll find an app we can all sign up to, and we'll have our own predictions league for it. So
Only if we get to 500 subscribers, though.
yes, please, for God's sake, so we can get monetized, right? So we think after all of this, we'll at least get
Stay as it is,
monetized,
Swanee.
so we can get 16p per video at least, which can go into making more hats.
That's 4p each, that is.
I know.
Nice.
Yeah.
Money
Why
in the
not?
bank.
25% split. What am I doing this all for?
Oh, okay.
See, show me the money.
So yeah, no, talk it all will end when we get 500 subscribers because we'll all disagree on who's getting a 30p ad revenue. So yeah, but there we go. Thank you so much for the season. If there's an ownership change, we'll be on it. for that news and other news. And hopefully we can do a few things over the summer like we did last year as well. Maybe look to get some interviews and players if everyone wants to link us up or anything, or even people want to join us and fans and tell their own opinions. So yeah, we'll be there over the summer.
The next video will just be me and Chris debating Asa Hall going off
for like 40 minutes.
God, they'll be queuing up for that one, Tom. Boy.
Yeah. I'll pay my 4p just to watch that.
We'll invite Asa Hall to come in as well, just to make it even more
wow!
interesting.
Yeah, that'd be great. Yeah, I'm up for that because I'm on the right side of it. So
I hate conflict, so I'll be showing it in a corner.
So I'll be like, film yourself.
Yeah, do it yourself. Here's a Zoom call. Right, so there we are. Oh yeah, if we bet paid, we can afford Zoom Premium without going to our pockets. There we go. That's it. It is 120 per year Zoom Premium. So this is what we have to go through. But there we go.
Love it though, don't we? We love it. Wouldn't have it any other
Definitely.
way.
We do.
Right, so thank you so much, and we will see you next week.
Here's Hargreaves, chance for Torquay. Chris Hargreaves, the captain. If he stays onside, Carlisle checks instead. He's looking for Benyon. Sells.